record. Are you obedient?
I am obedient.
Are you obedient?
We are obedient. Now my president you be. Me I want better tomorrow. Me no want to load. No. Now the person will be me. If he want better tomorrow, no go vote to load. No.
I am mad, let's go. As you see me so at the front line, no.
At the front line, no.
But you want mind, no. Make we unite, oh. Do the right thing, no.
Do the right thing.
Situation don't they get a CB. My brother, sister, get your BBC. Make we unite, make we vote you be.
Now my president you be. Me I want better tomorrow. Me no want to load. No. Now the person will be. If you want better tomorrow, no go vote to load. No.
If you don't want to be, it means say you don't want to be.
Me I go what you be. Peter Obi, say now you we want to.
We want
Now you we want
What I want to do is to take Nigeria from consumption to production.
Ana son ci gaban Najeriya a zaba Peter Obi.
fún ìlọsíwájú orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà dìbò fún pétérù òbí.
maka ọdịmma Naịjirịa ka anyị tụnyere nụ Peter Obi.
Vote Peter Obi.
Vote Peter Obi.
Vote Peter Obi.
Vote Peter Obi.
Good evening, everyone. Moses okay speaking to us this evening. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. So many of you who've been asking questions as to where Mazezoke has been, here I am. I am here live and direct with you. Let's do something as usual. This is Mazezoke's Friday Hangout, where we treat national issues with a pinch of some violence. I hope that makes sense. So wherever you are joining us from, you are speaking to me live and direct from the ground zero. If you wish to be part of this program, obviously, we would avail you the opportunity to join us here. Share, and share with others so that they would also indeed join us. Many months ago, many months ago, when we had this song, many of us did not understand it. I did try to warn us to explain to us what this song meant. Some of you thought I was kidding, but now, maybe when you hear this song, it will have a different meaning too.
ABC, Nigeria, from top to bottom.
So, Nigeria from top to bottom. Nigeria is gone from top to bottom. Common sense, sisters. Good evening. Nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet every one of you. Nigeria has gone from top to bottom. So there are a couple of things that I want to, bring out today. One is, no, leave Buhari. In fact, Buhari is from now on, Buhari, I am supporting Buhari, but I'm not supporting APC. From now onwards, I am supporting Buhari. I've declared a Buharist. Because as he depend them, he dey sweet us. As he dey sweet us, he go depend them. APC is fighting APC now. If you don't know, you know. Sometimes when APC is talking about APC, you will think APC is talking about Al-Qaeda. The way they now talk about themselves, you begin to wonder, Haba, if a party is talking about itself in this manner, what would then they say about the other parties? But hey, here we are. APC is fighting APC. You all know, yesterday Buhari, for a very a long while, addressed the nation, where he categorically, oh, killer happened. One of my lights is kaput. I think the battery is dead. Hold on. One of my lights, oh, yeah, the battery is dead. So let's see. Okay, I hope this works. So we don't, when you listen to APC these days, you begin to wonder, has APC gone from the ruling party to the thing is that APC is actually in opposition to itself. So it's not about any other person. APC is in opposition to itself. Why Bola Tinubu is balabuluing everywhere is Ulabari, Ulaba, Bala blue, blue, blah, 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 blue. Everywhere they go now, people, you know what happens to them. Don't worry, I'm doing willy willy. I'm testing my new powers. I now have the power to disappear from the Swiss studio in case if the APC we can't see nor hear. I hope you can. I've just acquired one new power. I've acquired new powers from Obomosho, and that power allows me to disappear from the screen. Okay, I'm back. Thank you very much. So, people, what I'm about to show you, do not laugh. Because the question that I want to ask us this evening, do you believe that the governor of Kaduna State has committed treasonable felony? While the World Press Conference today by the Labour Party presidential vice candidate, Dr. Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, while he was addressing a press conference in Abuja today, I did ask him a question, say hypothetically, if that was to be in his government, in a government that he serves with Mr. Peter Obi, that El-Rufai does something like this, that he basically did, what would he do? He said, well, that is a hypothetical question. I believe many of you watched the press conference. If you haven't watched the press conference, go back to the media, you see that word press conference, top notch. Top notch. Okay? So share. If you want to get this wristband, obedient wristband, you see? Have I got my step today? Okay, I've got my step. So if you want to share this, be part of this obedient band. So share, like, and subscribe if you haven't. So the question I asked him, I didn't use the words treason. For some reason, it be like say my juju is doing past me. My juju is actually doing past me now. That suddenly my juju can actually take me out and bring me back. But what I'm telling us is that when you watch this, you begin to understand what I mean. If you watch the whole press conference and you now see where and how he answered that question, brilliant, so brilliant mind. You cannot compare it. Um, I think it's this problem is from the APC. There is no doubt. They are trying to, get my network very wonky. But let's see. This is what El-Rufai said, so that you make sense out of it.
Stay calm and peaceful and support the lawful means being utilized to solve our problems. On behalf of the Kaduna State Government, I wish to assure you that none of you would lose the money you have in old notes. Let no artificial or illegal deadline frighten you. Whether you live in towns, villages, or in our isolated rural communities, do not feel stampeded to deposit your old notes into the banks. Hold on to them. Continue to use them as legal tender as ordered by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. No deadline can render them worthless. Section 20, subsection 3, and the Bills of Exchange Act.
You understand the gist. Why of it, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and here is a sitting governor suddenly telling these people in Kaduna State to disregard the orders from his party, or not from the opposition party, the orders of the one they understand. The APC is about to really engage in rough fight, right? You cannot believe what is happening, people. If you look at this and understand the context upon which these things are based, it may begin to make more sense. Because the more you look at it, the more you now ask yourself, oh, who is actually in the opposition? Is the APC in the opposition?
Is that
now listen to this conversation. You begin to wonder who is actually in the opposition here. APC fighting APC. Here is APC, especially Asiwaju team, basically begin to put the questions forward. Who is actually in charge of this government? You would think they are talking about government of NMPP or government of YPP.
all over our villages, people are dying from hunger. And the pain which hurts is that the President Muhammadu Buhari calls himself the president of the ordinary people, president of the Talakawas. How can he, by this policy, be killing rural farmers? I am a farmer that operates a community of 500 farmers.
Oga, if you operate in the community as you say, you're a farmer, go and open bank account for the farmers. Do you know today, this is not an advert, no one has paid, but I find it interesting that almost all the Uber and the boats that I used to move around in Nigeria, in the last 3 weeks, since this deadline or whatever, I have not touched, my hands haven't touched the new Naira note. Yet I'm not dead. Yet I move around. What is this Ulaba, Bala Blue, Ulabalu? What is it all about? It's just that when people, this morning, the last boat that dropped me, Musa Ismail, the guy that dropped me, my bill, 1,000 Naira. I tried multiple times. The network wasn't going. And he said, okay, I should go when I have the network. I will pay him. And my intention now is to, whenever I get the network, I will pay him 1,500 instead of paying him the 1,000 that was his fare. Another one that took me within a round is the same thing. So when network fails, but there are other, the thing is that the network is at the moment saturated. But even at that, Nigerians are still moving around, doing their things, doing their businesses. We know how, because the policy is something that is going to benefit all of us. But here is this man in this video. Look at him with a Baptist cap telling you that he's a farmer. Does he look like a farmer? Farmers don't stay in in Nigerian context. This is not the American or Canadian or English farmers. This is a Nigerian farmer. Farmers don't stay in such environment. Look at him, farmer call.
Buhari calls himself the president of the ordinary people, president of the Talakawas. How can he, by this policy, be killing rural farmers? I am a farmer that operates a community of 500 farmers. We cannot afford to pay their daily wages. Most of them don't have banks. So,
Oga, if you're paying their wages, open an account for them and pay it into account. You can no longer be moving money like mad people everywhere. Listen, I support Buhari on this. 2.7 trillion out of the banking system, revolving around somewhere, hovering, and we know it is hovering around for vote buying. And Buhari, an old fox, you guys think you can outsmart him. If you ask me, I would suggest that the federal government actually become more radical. Do away. We no longer want 500. We no longer want 1,000. Many of you in America, it's not easy for you to even see $100. Many of you in the United Kingdom, if you go to shop today, if you go to Tesco or Audi or off-license shop and give somebody 550 pounds, the way they will look at you first to size you up before they would, if it's off license, some of them put them in like a blue light to check whether if it is good or not. But here we are, we're talking about 1,000. I think this needs to be reviewed. 1,000 is too much. If you're not a thief, why are you moving millions in cash? It's only thieves that can do that. Only kidnappers and bandits. If man say, listen, if you want to pay me 1 million, 2 million, don't give me cash, I don't need it. If you cannot wire the money, keep it in your house. I don't need it. So we must also walk away from this. And this is the reason why El-Rufai committed treason by upsurging the powers that he does not have. There is no way, even in America today, a federation that we copied our system from. There is no way that if the American central government decides anything about currency and dollar, even when Nigeria was in the 1960s, even when we got independence, even when we had a parliamentary system of government, even when we had regional government, issues that has to do with defense, that has to do with currency, was entirely and the exclusive right of the federal government. But here, some of you call him the midget, but the man, I call him the short stout in Kaduna, is now telling his people, but again, Kaduna, if you're from Kaduna, take your money to CBN, the money will turn dust in your hand because Buhari know the laugh. And this is such a good policy that by the time Buhari finishes, people will come, you think people will go out there and put it back. You must be smoking something. Maybe you're smoking Kwale Igbo. So the point is that many of you believe that, myself included, that he has committed treason. He has declared the Republic of Kaduna. El-Rufai has declared the Republic of Kaduna, where people spend old 1,000 and old 500 that is no longer being spent in Nigeria. It's no longer a legal tender, meaning I can no longer buy goods with it, goods and services, and you can no longer pay me with that as someone who has rendered any service or who have sold any goods to you. It's that simple. QED. Basta. But the short stout is now telling everyone, the people of Kaduna State, to disregard a federal decision. So we'll see who will lose, who will blink. And on the other hand, the Agbado gangs, the palm farmers or the Agbado farmers said that they pay cash. I think Nasarawa State, you see how you tell you that these guys are criminals. Either is it Nasarawa has that announced that they were going to think about it. The level of wickedness Nigerian leaders, south, east, north, west, can be. They owed your parents, they owed your mom, your dad, your sister, your uncle, your niece, your nephews. They owed them for months. The moment the currency was changed and they ran into trouble, they suddenly remembered that they would clear allowances, but no longer with transfers, but with cash as a means of doing what? As a means of doing away the cash that they have stolen over the years. If they are not thieves, it's only a thief they can store cash, raw cash in their houses. It's only a thief that a bullion van will miss road and get into his house with a wrong address and with a wrong police escort. And they will open the boot of the bullion van and suddenly they will discover that the bullion van actually was empty. It's a bullion van that missed its way. It sounds like the story of someone who wakes up and says, oh, my neighbor's chicken strode into my compound and I am now eating it. I'm just trying to see if this chicken is tasting if chicken tastes very well. That's how silly and stupid some of these arguments are. But in Nigeria, nothing is silly to us anymore. These are a bunch of thieves. I keep repeating it without any apology or equivocation. Anyone who is against this policy of Naira redesign and Naira withdrawal, electronic transfer, is nothing best described as a criminal. Sorry, no apologies. That's what it is. Yes, of course, when people, you cannot sit in the diaspora and tell those of us here at home who live with this hardship every day, who know that the only way we can begin to flex with you guys, not when you are in Canada, you just send Mazina $100 and that $100 can become maybe 60,000 or whatever. I want your $1 to be $1 so that all of us, all of you in the land of the cold, that you begin to migrate back home. Yeah? How can you explain these things this way?
Farmers. I am a farmer that operates a community of 500 farmers. We cannot afford to pay their daily wages. Most of them don't have banks. So the issue is, it's either the president is stone deaf. Let me use that word. And it is time for Nigeria to look at the president and say, yeah, we elected you. This is a democracy. This is a system where the people's interest must be paramount. Where the Council of State, Council of Elders cannot come to you. All common sense cannot come to you. The government cannot come to you. Who are you? For goodness sake, who are you that Nigerians in all walks of life cannot come to you, talk to you, reason with you? But where?
If you close your eye without seeing the Baptist logo on this guy's head, you may think he's a Niger Delta agitator. Or you may think he's a Southeast agitator or a Middle Belt agitator. No, he is a member of the APC, sounding like this. It's only when you have taken the breast out of the baby's mouth, whether not baby or adult, but you know what I mean. It's only when it's Friday. It's only when you have taken that out of the mouth. That's when they begin to speak like this. These were people. They are all of them, all the thieves. They went deaf and dumb when during the NSAS, when they killed people at Lekki Togo. All the thieves sealed lips. When one of them the Mongo Park of Lagos, the discoverer and the discovery of Lagos, the one and the only one who has built Lagos and discovered Lagos. In fact, the creator of Lagos State, all he could say is, we should know who they are, why they were there, and what were they doing there. That's all he could say. But suddenly, he came to something that can help the masses. Everyone begins to talk around nonsense. You watching me tonight, do not allow yourself to be used. Sadly, what happened in Edo, no one should have died. Yes, people, I know that you are upset, but please let them not use you to call you out to protest. The only thing you can do is to come and join us and march on the street, so that we all, the way we've started the obedient movement, will converge together again and show force, starting from tomorrow. That is the only thing that makes sense. If they call you to go and destroy bank, don't worry, don't destroy. It is the property. No one destroys his own property. Go and destroy bank for what? For what? Network congestions. I found out early in the morning, networks, like some of these transfers that didn't go today, in the morning I will do it. I will do it. If you go to shop and buy something, now do you know the only people that do not accept bank transfer are only those who are stuck in the past, and those maybe who sell pure water. But at least, you know, if you buy things of 300, 400, of course you can still pay. And these are what our moms, they deal in petty stuff, but not necessarily adults wanting to move in millions here and there. And that's why it depends them, because this week and next week is normally the time that billions and gazillions move illegally through the system. Suddenly that has stopped. And they now want to use your old money to pay salary. And they're criminals.
The point is, we must get to a point in this country where all of us must be realistic with the expectation of our people, must be focused on helping rural Nigeria, must have a narrative that focuses on how they grow. The Naira is killing businesses. I am selling a crate of egg that I was selling for 1,800 and I was not making money. I am not selling at 1,300 Naira and I'm losing money. So the farmers are losing money. The CBN intervention to the banks, to the farmers, we are not able to pay back. The economy is crumbling, and you see that you see that your teachers are riding on AC cars. Let them go to run and see the pay the are going through. The reality is that we are crumbling. So the president needs to stand up, man up, listen, and say, yes, there's nothing wrong in the man saying I made mistake. I'm correcting them.
Look at them. The moment they vibrate like this, like that old local made machine that our parents used to grind in the market square. When you see politicians vibrating like this, that means something is holding them by their brocos. That's why. And it's only selfish end, not for any public good. Because if it were for public good, when evil was happening in the land, they should have spoken out. No, they didn't. It's only when it touched them. Now they are vibrating because they have only 8 days. And these 8 days, they've locked it up. Tell me, how can they steal 10 million with 200 Naira? Buhari, the best gift you will give us to even ban 1,500 forever and ever. We don't need it. If you want to transfer big money, use the banking system. Go to the bank and transfer it. Use your banking app and transfer it. What do we need 1,000 for? To be honest with you. If the POS, if there is a functional POS at the petrol station, what do you need functional? What do you need 1,000 Naira for? What for? It encourages thievery. In fact, let every endeavor be ended. Once more, this is Mazes, okay, and this is my Friday Hangout. As usual, you know, when Baba gave us the prophecy, many of us didn't understand. When he said, Nigeria from
ABC, Nigeria from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom.
See, top to bottom, they are falling, top to bottom. Now we have fallen from top and we are at the bottom. We are falling. And I wanted to go and see my brother. He looked at my cap and said, "Mas, I like this your cap, blue, 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 blue." No one of you have. No. I'm sending you guys a message. None of you have even complimented to say that I am Bala blue, 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 Hulava.
You look like Cinderella. Look at the flower. Or this one is called butterfly. Butterfly. Butterfly, butterfly. 1, 2.
So none of you is noticing my butterfly. Butterfly, butterfly. Why do you hell in me? I hell in you, I hell in you. Buhari, why do you change your money? Change your money. Election kaput. Nigerians, do not listen to APC. Anything anybody they do, sharpen your PVC, sharpen it, put it in somewhere nobody will see it. Sometimes me, rice man, sometimes me, they sleep, I go do a week. I feel like, it's like I saw somebody passing near my PVC, I will go. I will just check it. Thank God, see, that thing still there, my PVC still there. I just, now one a day, but I go use them. See all of them. I go use and flog some people, and I want some people will join me. Now, Operation Flog them come out. Operation Flog them come out. They remember, they made us suffer, and they denied it. Anyone that kills its own child deserves no mercy. A man, you ordered for your children to be killed at the Loki toll gate. You disposed their bodies. You disposed their bodies. You started a kangaroo inquiry, and you, after all the Hulaba, Bala Blue, you did not indict anyone. You see that case, it will be revisited at the appropriate time. PVC, if you call me for phone now and you don't have PVC and you're not volunteering to help in this election, I beg, block me, Bala Blue me. Tomorrow, if you are in New York, come out. If you are in Abuja, come out. Tomorrow is going to be a very fantastic day. Let us all come out and let us show force. That is what is going to happen. We are going to sharpen our PVC. Our PVC will be converted into koboko, and that koboko will be used for. You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. But if you get it, you get it. Because why?
I have so many power. Le baduse play lamante. I have a bit of shaker. I have never touched those ones. I have the boost kabaj. Yes. I have ganduka gandusa. Mbeg Iwalonios.
You know you have so many powers, and you have used so many, but there is one power you have not used. I've been the shaker, the bush kabaj. You haven't used it. A week from tomorrow, it is your time to use it. Use it and use it wisely. You know, we no longer say vote wisely because sometimes we don't even trust our wisdom. We now say vote to level. Vote to level. If you vote to the other ones. See what thing they do you for 80 years. They never do you. Suffer no they tire you. I beg. Suffer no they tire you. If suffer don't tire you. If suffer don't tire you. A nation that on a national TV, something like this will happen. They say turn off the mic. And for true, the mic.
That is okay. Let me explain. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Let me explain
It's okay.
now.
It's okay.
You must not allow the two children
It's
to
okay.
access the budget every
It's
year.
okay. Off your mic. It's okay.
She
Off
is
your
right.
mic.
You see? Off your mic. Common sense, sister. You see, before, now we depend toward. Now virulence. Who know like and make you log off. In fact, to block me itself if you know like her. We are now angry with, we are coming with violence. The violence now, and the only they say now the violence people take it by force. Now take it or not take it. Take it. The violence people take it by force. But be that as may, now let me come back again to the issue at stake today. And this is Mazazuke's Friday Hangout. You will see. While I'm saying this, there's something that is condemnable that happened in the Southeast. And again, these are things that we must talk about. We do not only point fingers to others while the things that happen at, in your home front, people keep quiet. That's not in our character to do. If you watch this, this is Governor Autumn speaking to his people, and the spirit of obedience entered him, and the Son of Man, the defender of the Benue people, as it is written in the book of Benue, chapter 1, verses 19 to 23. And thou said, the Son of Man. See, that was a sitting governor. He was there saying, Obi, Obi, Obi. If a sitting governor who they have buyed his people to a point that he has received sense. Remember, he was in the APC.
We want them to stop doing that.
He was in the APC. But if you come to my backyard, I have my own brothers. Their number 6 is a little bit balablued. They go about destroying things that there will be no erection. Not election, because if we have a referendum and an erection, but here they say there is not going to be any erection in my neck of wood. While we show the good, the bad, we must also show the ugly. Some of you will say, hey, why is a lie? There must be erection in the Southeast. Look at what they did. Look at what they did, and you ask them. We made this stupid mistake in 2006 by Masop when during the time of census. Oh, there will not be in census. There is revenue sharing in Nigeria is anchored on census. Most of the things you do in Nigeria is anchored on census. That is the figures, the numbers. You deprive yourself, you cry of marginalization. I'm too an idiot. In 2006, 17 years later, a child that was born in 2006 now is at the verge of entering the university. 17 years later, all we see is a bunch of Ndisimbaka to come and say there's not going to be any error. If you don't want to vote, stay in your house. You saw what happened in Obosi the other day. Somebody came out and said, we want to enforce sit at home. Everybody must sit at home. You know how the story ended. It's not a threat. But there is you see, even goats can bite. Do not push a goat to the wall that when that goat turns and has no other way of escape, while lying at your process, that goat will chop. And you're pushing the people to the wall. Monday sit at home like idiots. From Monday sit at home, you now move no erection. Mama, Papa, if your son or your daughter is among the brainwashed people, going to tell people not to come out and exercise their franchise, do whatever you can for them to stay at home if you want your child to leave. The way it depend the people for body for which it don't happen now. Because people eye they read. No money day. No money, no anywhere. Money no day. So don't come and say back. How many people you will kill? How many people they even do this rubbish? Starting up an issue. How can somebody, you said you are from the southeast and you come out, you look at people who have suffered to buy plastic chairs and rent them out on daily basis. You look at them because they've taken contract to make ends meet and you set them ablaze. You are the real coward. Whoever engaged in this, you are the real coward and you're not fighting for the people. The people have kept quiet for a long time and now the people have risen because they are no longer going to tolerate this nonsense. Be it you sit at home or anything, that is the end of it. You cannot hold the people down for a very long time. You cannot come and say, oh, Nigeria, they do me like this, Nigeria, they do. Then you come in and you become a dictator because that's what you are. Even the Nigerian state that you criticize is much better than you. A place where there is no other dissenting voice. It's either your voice and everybody dies. Then, as they say in my place, and as it is going in now, the public is getting ready to cook for you. And get ready.
Let somebody insist in doing election. Look at them. As you can see, look at the decoration women. We want them a lot, but they refuse. Where's your phone? You understand? We want them, but they insist doing election in Biafran land. As you can see what is going on here. We are scattering everything. Trying to put fire on their seats, canopies, all their decoration. Put it there. Put everything in that decoration. Put them there. Yes, to put it fire. See, they insist of doing politics. Hey, go and put that generator inside that. Go push it now. We want them a lot, but they refuse. As you can see, this is what is going on right here. We want to burn everything to show them that we say that there will not be election in Biafran land, and we are not gonna do election in this Biafran land. So that's it. We must do what we said. We are not going back anymore. In this place.
Now, the cucumbers and the idiots doing this does not know how much a speaker costs. They do not know what it took the woman that has those clothes for decoration. How long and how many sleepless nights with saving that it took her to gain this. And you just come because of your idiocy and ignorance. You destroy them. If that is how you want to get your own country, please get your own country. We are not going to be part of it because it's going to be a country ruled by idiots and cucumbers and carrots. A country where there is no dissenting voice. Everybody must agree on one thing. Who does that? Who? Tomorrow you wake up, oh, Fulani. Well, look at what you're doing to your own mother and fathers. Look at it. Shame on you. This is what you are doing to your own people in the name of freedom fighter, freedom Bogidia. If this is what freedom is, then I remain in bondage. Look at it. Where is freedom of association for Christ's sake? Where? Something Nigeria hasn't even denied you. Then you are denying it to your people. From the smell of the fat, you will know how the shit will taste. And this tastes so bad. No reasonable person wants to associate with this type of madness because there is nothing absolute than madness. This is madness, pure madness. Short, simple, Pure madness. Who does this?
What is the problem? As you can see, we want them a lot, but they refuse. The soldiers are working, really working to see that there will not be election in this Biafran land, and there is not going to be election in Biafran land.
You see, when the people revolt, you are pushing the people to the wall that when they revolt, the end will not be funny. The end will not be funny. If you don't want to fucking vote, stay in your freaking house. Stay. Allow others. What manner of nonsense? Who has brainwashed you to this level? If you don't want to effing vote, stay in your house. You don't need to come out and destroy your brothers and your sisters and their wares. Do you know how long this is somebody's business? Rented. I do not even know which party, but it matters not, whichever party. It doesn't matter. This is people's business. And you collate them together, pour fuel on it, and burnt them. If you go home, you say you are fighting for freedom. You are a coward. Whoever is involved in doing this, you are nothing.
Tapolin and put in that fire. Yes, we want them a lot, but they refuse. Since this is what they want, we'll be giving them what they want. This is exactly what they want. In this, we told them there is not going to be election. Our master Mazin Nandekali is there suffering. These people, they don't care.
There are things, the reason why we do this is that we must speak truth to ourselves. Again, the people are coming out. The people are telling you now they see someone who can make a change. Come around him, help him, let the change be made. But you choose this path of destruction. If that's what you've chosen to be, if that's how you have chosen, so be it. But know that every action I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. When the people rise, when the people revolt, when the people, say enough of this madness, enough of this nonsense, then you will see that the people also can do stuff that you may never imagine that they will.
Hello everyone, my name is Lightola.
Listen to this gospel truth.
I'm a pastor, I'm a pharmacist, and I'm proudly Nigerian of Yoruba descent. It has become imperative for me to do this video. Please note that the content, 95% of the content of this video was written down as far back.
Now, the person speaking is not from your ethnic stock. While people are making sense, you are there destroying your own. Tomorrow, you would stupidly and idiotically come up and say, oh, they are marginalizing us. No one will be alive. God willing, may the Lord stand. We'll be alive.
As May 2020 during COVID, when I first had the revelation that there will be a third force that will be highlighted by the candidate being a person of integrity and will refuse to share money like the typical politicians, and youths will follow him en masse. I thought it was not going to be possible knowing Nigeria that as I knew it. But then I said it is, if this is God, it would happen. Shortly down the line, EndSARS happened. And I screamed it that truly, in a bit of time, the candidate and the party would arise. And here we are today. Please note that I'm not a politician. I'm not vying for any position. And I'm not even expecting any personal favor from any government that comes in. But we can't all continue to be stupid, to be foolish, to be scared, selfish, and dumb. The result of what has brought Nigeria to where it is today. Our thinking, our choices brought us here. But I have chosen to think differently. I've chosen to challenge the status quo. I have chosen to try, even if I fail. But then I know I can't even fail at this time. I'll be better off than every coward who has chosen to be an onlooker in his or her own destiny by having a PVC and refusing to vote. Or those people that will foolishly follow people leading them to their graves just because of religious and tribal and partisan sentiments. We can't continue the way we have been if we want a change in this country. We must learn to do things differently. Now, if anybody comes to you to give you money or food or anything just to vote, please reject it if you can. But if you cannot, please take it, because it is out of the money that has been stolen from us that they are giving back to you. But we're saying we should all stop. We should stop selling the future. Stop allowing your generation to continue in poverty. Tabaron inisheru afinje tomonio. Nigeria edide eronu esoji ominira today. Our independence is here, but we just have to reach out to it. Now the deeds have gone on for so long that it looks like it can't change again. But I'm saying it will change. It will change if you decide and I decide. Yes, the day you decide that we're taking this country back, we will take it back. Peter Obi is up to lead this country and has the report of integrity. I'm challenging you today to decide to stand up for right, to stand up to do right, to stand up to vote right, and vote Peter Obi. How about you doing this? Telling 10 people in your personal space to do this, telling them to tell their own 10. We are fighting for our future, fighting for the future of our children. We cannot afford to let the coming generation down. Now in the Tower of Babel, the story of the Tower of Babel, even God respected the resolve of the people because they made up their mind. Everything is achievable for a people who have decided to come together for a common purpose. Let us all arise, Igbos alike, Yorubas alike, Hausas alike, every party alike, Muslims and Christians. Let us take our country back from these few people who have thought that Nigeria belongs to them alone. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Please, on 25th of February, go out there and vote Peter Obi, vote integrity, vote capacity, vote competence. The logo is LP, Papa, Mama, Pikin.
This is what a woman, a mother, sits down, compose, writes from a different place. If you want to disagree with her on principle. But you are the greatest idiot on earth that would ever exist, that after listening to her, you say, oh, why did she say that? We should kill her. Then you know that you also you're not qualified to actually exist. And this is exactly with what has happened in the video we watched before, where people can actually wake up, arm themselves, march, go, destroy things, and they go back happy. I mean, how does that happen? You go back happy, you've done a job. Tell me, how do you get your republic if you keep destroying the little you have? You say they marginalize you. Yes, okay. Then your brothers and sisters go eke out a living, come home, build the little they can, then you go and you burn it. And you say, yeah, who are the they? Aren't you worse than the day? Well, maybe the day in parentheses. So let's quickly move on to this. Now, you see here, whether you like it or not, starting in the next, give it in the next, what time is it now? 23, yeah, 23:30. So give it in the next 10 hours. Nigerians across Nigeria would come out and march for Peter Obi. You can't do anything. In the southeast, you will see the numbers. From tomorrow till the 23rd, the people will come out and march, and they would come out and stop them. Then you will see the anger of the people. You know, that is when you know, like Chinua Achebe said, when you laugh, you fall. It is as a result that you want to fall, not because that fall was orchestrated or caused by the laughter. No, now you use your hand for yourself. I hope you guys are understanding what I mean, because these madness can no longer be allowed to continue. Now, watch even when the people are so obedient to the point that even when Buhari and Bola Tinubu comes to him, he would think that the members of APC will line up, even when they have paid millions to people to come. Yet the people that they paid millions will stand up instead of waving and be saying Tinubu, Bala Blue, Tinubu. They are saying Obi, Obi. It shows you what they want to. They think that, oh, because the people are not for us, let us use 500 and 1,000 naira and bribe them to buy them over. If you take money, if at all that they get the new money or the old money and they give you on Saturday next week and you take it, then you are the biggest fool. If your brothers and sisters can do this, you can do it.
This is Tinubu rally in Owero. As they're doing their rally, people are shouting Obio. Shouting Peter Obi in Tinubu's rally nowhere.
So now you can see that Jungle, you know, this minister of junior minister of labor, every time on Twitter,
we are missing the
when Jungle mature,
100 naira notes.
Now let's listen to Ogben here. We'll come back and we'll conclude with how we.
Very well, thanks. Well, fantastic.
I like the way you personalize your name, Ayomi.
Yeah. We're missing Dr. Abati.
Yes.
Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. Some governors of the All Progressives Congress have reacted to President Muhammadu Buhari's nationwide broadcast, in which he directed the Central Bank of Nigeria to extend the validity of the old 200 naira notes till April 10th. On Thursday, the governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai, alleged that the scarcity of the naira and fuel shortage are part of a plot to disrupt the elections in order to ensure an interim government takes over.
Listen, what these guys are planning, every single report that they have commissioned, they are scared. They ask, quote me, I know, I am here. There are things we see. They are scared. That's why you see FKK now reports to the DSS every single day because he was the first person to say, oh, Atiku met with the military. Military will take over. Nowhere. Atiku met with no military. Military are not going to take over. Military are even tired because they don't use, their cars don't use water. Right? All they are doing, APC have seen that they have lost the election to Labour Party. They are doing, see, the old fox is here. Look at him, this small stout. What they are doing is to say if there's going to be an insurrection. That's why I keep, at least, how many of you watching me, do not be a tool to this. Do not come out if they say you should come out and be used for this. Do not come out. Do not protest. The only out you will come is to match the street for Peter. To come and destroy banks, lie, now money will take build the banks. To come and burn, just like the way we criticized and frowned against when police stations were being burnt in the East. Many of you watching now called me names because your emotions could not unlock your brains to think beyond your immediate brainwashing. Someone in this platform is still talking nonsense, saying Al Sudani, referring to Buhari, brainwashed. But here we are. How many years later? Is the truth not?
In a state broadcast, the Kaduna governor also stated that the president's directive is a disregard for the rule of law and urged residents of the state to hold on to their old and new Naira notes as they remain legal tender in the state pending the Supreme Court's decision.
On behalf of the Kaduna state government, I wish to assure you that none of you would lose the money you have in old notes. Let no artificial or illegal deadline frighten you. Whether you live in towns, villages, or in our isolated rural communities, do not feel stampeded to deposit your old notes into the banks. Hold on to them. Continue to use them as legal tender.
Hold on to it for what? Hold on to it for what? El-Rufai, hold on to it for what? Is it a banana, a bar? Agbado or rain? What is it?
Ordered by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. No deadline can render them worthless, ever. The law is on your side. The Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007 in Section 20, subsection 3, and the Bills of Exchange Act.
Well, in a statement, the governor went further to tell the people of Kaduna State that it is important for them to know that contrary to the public pronouncement and apparent good intentions, the Naira redesign policy was conceived and sold to the president by officials who completely lost out in the gubernatorial and presidential primaries of the APC in June 2022. His statement read in part: once Asiwaju Bola Tinubu emerged as a candidate in June 2022 and subsequently did not pick one of them as his running mate, this currency redesign policy was conceived to ensure that the APC presidential candidate is deprived of what they alleged as a humongous war chest. They also sought to achieve any one or more of the following objectives.
No. If these people, either the APC people don't have gray matters in between their score, or they think that Nigerians are idiots. Now let us analyze this statement. Once Asiwaju Bola Tinubu emerged as the candidate in June 2022, again, the moment he emerged, and subsequently did not pick one of them as his running mate, this currency redesign policy was conceived to ensure that APC presidential candidate is deprived of what they allege is a humongous war chest. What am I missing? If there was no stolen money kept somewhere, how does change of currency, non-change of currency, how is that going to prevent you? If you do not have any ulterior motive to use money, stolen money, to induce people, how is it that Atiku is there? He has no chest. Oh, by the way, his chest is bare. Egovino Peter Obi is there. And Jewel 0.6. He's there with a lot of chest. He's not complaining, right? But he's the one that can not. Yes, that is the one that is war chest. And you understand what I mean? APC, you people should be insulting us with some dignity.
Presidential candidate is deprived of what they alleged as a humongous war chest. They also sought to achieve any one or more of the following objectives.
Number one,
in the last 2 weeks, El-Rufai appears on television almost every single day. And it says one thing: money, 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 money. Even the one called Adamugaba. Many of you that call him Adamugaba just say, repent. The one that you call Adamugaba. He has even started It's, I think, the chain that appeared to have removed from the sprocket appears to have been re-entered now. Suddenly, since yesterday, he started saying, let us support the president. He has brought back 200. But the other one called FKK. Maybe DSS is still reset. Now he has started quoting Bible again. He's no longer blah, 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 blah. You cannot put a nation, you cannot set the nation. You cannot set a nation on fire because you stole money and you kept it for election. Humongous one at that. The money that should have, those people, the Mongo parks that discovered certain places, the places they discovered, they built it, but when they want to, they go to Paris. Huh?
Create a nationwide shortage of cash so that citizens are incited to vote against APC candidates across the board, resulting in massive losses for the party in all the elections. Number 2, ensure that the cash crunch is so serious, along with the contrived and enduring fuel shortage existing since September 2022, that the 2023 elections do not hold at all, leading to an interim national government to be...
It's a lie. Interim national government is in your own brain. It is in the Okuchi cup of the small stout. It is in the cock of the small stout. Interim government is only in your brain, in your imagination, in the caucus of the APC. That is where it exists. Why is it that it is only the APC that is so fixated on this nonsense?
Led by a retired army general. And number 3, sustain the climate of shortage of fuel, food and other necessities, leading to mass protests, violence and breakdown of law and order that will provide a fertile foundation for a military takeover.
Which law and the order? The places that there is law and order breakdown are your places of incitement. I will not be surprised that we wake up tomorrow. I will not be surprised. Look at what happened in Edo. Edo is a direct consequences of the things, the garbage that Adams, Oshomole, Ole, the things he vivaciously said with his mouth. And the people went on the street. But again, I say, do not die in their war. Do not lose your life. 2012 was a mistake when they called you out at Ojota. You think you are fighting for... They took advantage of that. They had no plans for you. Who would ever believe that those you fought for would shoot you dead, deny that you died, burnt your body, made sure that your body was not recovered? And anyone who does that should not and should never be trusted. If you want to make peace, start by apologizing, acknowledging, yes, that you killed your youth. And the youth, as long as that's not happening, please sharpen your PVC. It should be as sharper as a blade. Use it. I don't trust your judgment. Use it to vote for Labour Party and Pitori, because if I say vote wisely, if you reach there now, your hand could be localized before you go one vote Labour Party. You don't go off, go vote for some the other one.
Rufai, while I catch my breath, a lot of people have said that his statements are quite insightful.
They are. His statement is not only insightful. The VP, Baba Dati Ahmed, said today that his statement is treason. Treason. Abubakar Malami, I would be expecting you to send him letters to come and explain.
Audrey, I shuddered in disbelief yesterday when I read through the statement. It was shocking, the level that these politicians are plunging the country. And please, for the sake of peace, I beg, politicians should cool it down. Audrey, this has gotten out of hand. As we speak today, this...
They are not... Rufai, listen. They don't want to cool it down because the report that they commissioned themselves came back telling them the margin with which they lost the election if it was done. So all these shenanigans you see them doing is because as a result of that report, knowing that the election comes, the angry Nigerian youth plus the obedient will flog them with Koboko and PVC joint, with all the Cameroonian pepper and tatashi mixed together, plus salt, to rub it and massage them after flogging them. All this you see they do is as a result of the election that they have already lost. These people, looters, vampires, that's what they are, nothing else.
This morning, Lagos is on fire. Parts of my 12, another part, I hear parts of Ikorodu, and some other parts.
Why are they doing that? Lagos, APC state. Edo, APC incited crisis. While they do this, especially you southern youth, open your eye. NSAS came, we want to fix Nigeria, we want to fix Nigeria. It's only palliative that we saw what happened in Jos, in Yola, and I think Taraba, to a point that tractors, brand new tractors were stolen, stripped bare, custom offices, grain storage place for palliative in Plateau State, in Jos, broken into. The people went to take what belonged to them. They didn't steal it. The palliative, in all the activities that happened, those that ought to speak up and give part of their stolen wealth to you to appease you didn't. Suddenly now, because there is a policy that is hurting them, no longer would they do that and you keep quiet.
People are running amok. Citizens are scampering for their lives. I beg the politicians, this election will come and go. Nigeria is more than all of us. This country has existed before most of us. It will continue to exist after most of us. Let us not plunge this country into chaos. He made an insightful statement by saying that some people are planning a coup because they didn't. I think the security authority should ask him further on this.
It's not you think. He should be, whether he has immunity or not. The same way, FKK now, he's saying it because now he can no longer travel. In fact, he made himself, it's good for him. Suddenly, he no longer runs his mouth like a parrot that drank hot pap. That hot ogi, Edo pap. One parrot put mouth, chukan. The way he go run in mouth, that's what is happening to him. He no longer runs his mouth because he drank this pap. You think don't hook him. You wake up from nowhere just because you had a useless meeting. Let us do this, coordinate, Femi Friday first, you do, this person do, this. The only time you see governors come together to go to court, go to Supreme Court, is not to make. Listen, I want to see where governors say, the governors of the South, South, and Southeast, because we want to build rail from Edo to Obudu Ranch, and federal government says no, go to court, we will support you. No, they won't. It's federal government, they don't want. Yet, the road from Enugu to Makode to Jimeta is kaput. They won't go to court and compel federal government to. No, it is only when they stolen money, their own money, that's when they go to. And today, let me tell you, I had with one ear. I don't know whether or not the ear where they burn me. You can quote me. I had with one ear that judgment was procured. Let me not talk about which judgment, but there was a judgment that involved certain senators. Certain senators. We'll still write an exclusive on it. Certain senators. Even when the law said, if you contest in this party, you can no longer contest in another party. Sorry, if you contest in one election, you can no longer go back and contest in another election. Some of them contested presidency, went back. That judgment I had, the money was paid in dollars. And it's in the letter M. Highest court of the land. Now one year, now I hear for make DSS no go jump fence come, but now 1 year take here. Now 1 year, now 1 year, 1 year. Come on. I see $4.5. That one na super chat. I've been a joke on the joke. I beg bring the money. I need them. I don't get fuel. So anyone that I come, Amaka said £4.99 from Amaka character holding their head. Amaka, na right with the right now. I don't see super chat now. I hope so. I'm not the one to do Ojoro for this platform. I beg. I could not do Ojoro. I could not support the minister. And some of you, if you also want to support towards those that are going to come out tomorrow, you can buy pure water. You can do super sticker, super chat. We would use, we will do transfer, buy pure water for tomorrow. You can do that. Everyone is coming out. Everyone is coming out. Supreme Court justices that weren't giving visa to US for a conference. Those ones in the Supreme Court. So listen, go ahead and listen to this.
We can't allow our country to be plunged this way. The last person that made this same claim, after when he got to DSS, the music changed. He said he could have done better. All of this, is it because of the Naira policy?
Sure.
At first, let me give you a trajectory of what happened. I just hope I get the time. At first, when this policy was announced, we know how they went after Mr. Mefele with the DSS and terrorism charges. Now they've forgotten about that. Secondly, now, we know how they went to the president. The day they got an extension, they were happy. The president said, give me 7 further days. They said, no, they went to court. We know how they continued with rejoinders on this case, just to be able to extend the case. Now we're at this point. The president gave a directive. A governor of his state countered the directive of his sovereign. What level of lawlessness are we getting into? Yes, the Supreme Court has ruled on this. We should obey. I'm not going to say let's break the rule of law. But the president came back and minuted on something. And you, a governor, gave a counter speech. This was the same governor that didn't give a counter speech when Greenfield student died. He didn't give press conferences. This same governor in his speech also assumed the position of responsibility of the CBN governor by dictating what monetary policy should be. By saying the CBN has printed 400 billion. So, Professor Doyin Salami said it's supposed to want 1.2 trillion. So who do we listen to now about monetary policy? Is it the CBN governor or Professor Doyin Salami? And let me even challenge his logic further. 98% of Nigerians have 500,000 naira in their account. If truly the CBN governor has printed 400 billion, like he said, so where is the money? Is it not the same politicians that are hoarding it?
You see, Rufai, I owe you 1 bottle of small stout. When you take logic to destroy illogical argument of certain people.
Then he went further to say all sorts of things. He tries to pass the buck. He claims that they took the government to court because of hardship. This same Mr. El-Rufai has prevailed over the highest level of hardship on the people of Kaduna State. Haji, he has sacked close to 60,000 people. Please, go and fact check me. All these governors that took the case to court, the Kogi State governor pays half salaries. We also, when it was down, people want to pay salaries. His family currently is having the case to answer with the EFCC. Or is it the Kano State governor that we all saw on public television how he was putting dollars into his babariga? He took the man that released the video to court. He had to withdraw the case because he had, in fact, the court ordered him to pay the man 800,000 naira for his legal fees. Oji, I'm not saying Nigerians are not in pain. Please, Nigerians, I know this, and I implore the CBN to ensure that the logistics is done to get this money out. And please, banks and POS operators, please cooperate.
Absolutely.
But we can't throw our country away.
You see, Rufai, he's not the only governor that has, attacked Buhari over this new Naira. I believe also, like you mentioned, the Kano state governor, as well as the Jigawa state governor yesterday. A lot of us saying it's not just that we are suffering. We know Nigerians are suffering, but it's obvious that it is the APC that is showing that they are the ones who suffer the more. I'll come to you, Ayo. Let me take what the CBN said yesterday. The governor of the central bank, Godwin Emefiele, on Thursday appealed to Nigerians to remain calm as measures are in place to ensure improved access to cash. The President Buhari's directive to the Apex Bank to
Nigerians, let this policy work. This policy is one policy that goes to solve the problem of reducing corruption and illicit financial flows. This policy goes to resolve some of the problems in the economy. This policy also goes to reducing the level of insecurity in the country. So these three issues, which are the tripod of this administration's policy, are all embedded in this policy. I have met with about 15 banks this morning, later, and we've given them directives about how they should make all the old 200 Naira notes available, effective today. And I can assure Nigerians that this will help to reduce the pain.
The governor has appealed to Nigerians to remain calm. Can we just wait and see what comes out of this?
If you're a mother listening to me now, do not allow your son, your daughter, do not allow any of your children to move to the streets to make any form of protest against Naira redesign and lose their life for nothing. 200 Naira within the next 1 week will be available. 500 Naira, 1,000 Naira is dead. Dead. D-E-A-D. Dead. The old ones. If I'm to be Buhari, I will even remove the new one. Let all of them die. Produce it, let it be 200. If you want to now give bribe, you want to give my 500,000 Naira bribe, you go carry it like they carry offering. Oh dear. It is going to hold kidnapping. Imagine where you want to pay ransom of 1 million. You chatter Dina or you chatter one Gongoro. So you want to pay ransom. And so let's see. Come on, this is for our own benefit. I beg Nigeria.
Yes, absolutely. I think the outburst or the address, the state address by Governor El-Rufai is important to really analyze and to critically see beyond what he said. In terms of the fact that you then see that as a leader, he's not thinking about the good of the people. Because sometimes you wouldn't cut your nose to spite your face, or when you're upset, understanding the policy and the fact that people are already infuriated, you don't want to add fuel as it were to fire. So in terms of that general analysis of his speech at this time and what he said, the content of what he said and how it affects his people is one to talk about. So like you mentioned, Rufai, this point where you're hearing that they've been attacked around, people are angry. And therefore, as a leader, what you want to do first is to douse the tension, not to stoke up the tension. Unfortunately, what he's done with that speech is to stoke up the tension. And so he hasn't acted in a way, it belies his position in saying that he's doing this for the good of his people. If you're doing this for the good of the people, then you do not want any more outbreaks of violence, you don't want any more agitations. So first of all, you go into the, into the negotiation room, perhaps, and think what is the best response, even though I don't agree with it, for the good of the people? As Rufai had mentioned, one of the things we've said again and again is that when it's come up to very critical and important situations like security in Kaduna and the arrest in southern Kaduna, he hasn't taken this much fervor and passion to deal with it as he has done with the Naira redesign. The statements that he has made, credited to him in terms of a planned coup, interim government, these are weighty statements, particularly from the leader of a state, whom people are loyal to and would act on his word. If violence broke out yesterday in Kaduna State, then he's actually responsible. If violence breaks out in the next few days, they will cite what he said and say, Governor El-Rufai said X, Y, Z. Do they think about the people they represent? These are the questions that Nigerians should ask. And just to end on what Rufai said as well, that you then begin to wonder, what is this passion for this angst against, this politicizing this Naira redesign? Because that's what they're doing now, making it a thing of, you want to scuttle our plans. Why is it so important? Governor Ganduje was saying they should have done the policy 7 years ago. Okay, they didn't do it 7 years ago. They want to do it now. What is it? What is the big deal about it?
Yes.
Nigerian people should see the signs beyond what the governors are saying and understand that this is self-serving very largely and not be used as a pawn for violence. Do not let them take your life because of statements like this. Let us remain calm. Let us see what will happen in the next few days. We've begun to adjust to this policy. Let us see how best it would help Nigerians.
Absolutely. Well, in the meantime, a video that went viral on Thursday showed some alleged businessmen in Gombe State being questioned as they arrived at the Central Bank of Nigeria to return bags containing the old 500 and 1,000 Naira notes in the sum of over 50 million Naira. I mean, Rufai.
Look at them. Look at them. Is this not what Buhari is fighting for? Huh? Okay, look at these people. For over 100 days, government said return your money. So it means that this person went to Mecca, bought a flat, they probably lived in Mecca, now came back here. Oh no, he died and resurrected over 110 days, and now he's bringing his money back. There is no way there will be any atom of genuineness in what and how this man is bringing this money. Because for a very long time, you were asked that if you don't bring this money, everything is going to, you kept quiet.
Look at that. Why did it take so long for these guys to return the money?
And everybody knew that there was going to be an expiry date. So these are part of the things. And when the guys were questioned, they said, oh, they do flour business, that they make a lot of turnover on a daily. I mean, I wasn't hearing the language they were speaking there, that they do a lot of turnover. But this also speaks volumes. Are they going to say they were living in a cave?
Yeah.
They were not aware?
No. They are the kinsmen to El-Rufai. He asked them to keep that in a cave. How can some people be wicked? They owed your parents salary, arrears for so many months. Now, they are now saying that they're going to pay arrears with the same money that CBN. Don't allow your mommy to come back with expired money. The money don't expire. The money don't become a boju. It don't expire. Nothing good. You just be carrying pepper like this woman. Because let me tell you, when you will know that Nigeria can be bad is when you have 1 million Naira, you want to go and pay it in the bank. When you sign signatures, today they started tweeting fake news. Oh, CBN said you can bring it into the bank. CBN quickly said it's a lie. We did it. If you want to bring back the money, bring it to the CBN. There is a department in CBN now manned by EFCC and DSS together. Take it there. First of all, before you come to fill in, DSS and EFCC, one will be dangling the handcuff like this. The other one will be asking you questions. Then, this time around, it's just that Nigeria is not strict. After telling, if I were to be them, I will tell you, after telling me how you got the money, I will tell you, go and get your tax receipt. If you don't get your tax receipt, in fact, if you get however money you pay, I'll give you 90% of it back. So to catch you, if in the last couple of years you've only paid 300,000 and you're bringing in 150 million. And we say state don't make money because they will pay you 90% of 300,000. Do the calculation. You see, 300 times 9. You know, that's what you're going to get in return from your 150 million. Because sometime you need.
So probably somebody somewhere was giving them assurances to keep the money that they will convert it. And please let us say the way it is. Two things I'd like to point out here. Governor El-Rufai was caught on video telling his people to spend the money side by side with the old note, even before the Supreme Court judgment was made. Please, can we ask, what did he know prior to this time?
Absolutely.
Can we ask, what did he know? So people were probably giving them assurances. I'm sure it's when they see now that the game is up, that's why they're bringing the monies out. Let's just be careful in the country. The empirical argument is 98% of the bank owners in this country don't have up to 500,000 naira in their bank accounts. So if they don't have up to, are they the ones that are withdrawing all these billions? So if the 400 billion like Governor El-Rufai was claimed was given, and I don't even know when he became a custodian of monetary policy matters over the CBN, if that money is out in circulation, so isn't that money supposed to be enough for people with petty cash? He claims that the CBN said they need 700 billion for people with petty cash to stabilize things. But there are other modes of payment like Naira, electronic payment that has increased to over like something trillion. Please, I beg, for the love of mercy, Nigeria.
What the masses have. So let's see if this will help out. All right, we'll take another story. Reactions have trailed the endorsement of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, by the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, who on Thursday said that Obi surpassed other candidates, including Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, by age and capacity, among other virtues. Ortom's endorsement is the latest boost towards Peter Obi's ambition in winning next week's presidential election, following the likes of former Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko, his Cross River State counterpart Donald Duke, former Deputy National Chairman of the PDP Chief Bode George, and former Senate President Ayim Pius Ayim in backing the Labour Party flag bearer. Well, during the town hall meeting held at the Royal Choice Inn in Makurdi, Ortom lauded the qualities of Peter Obi, whom he hailed as an outstanding candidate who will root out insecurity and unite the country. Let's take a listen before we take some reactions.
In this 2023, fashion a new Nigeria. Nigeria that will give us equity, fairness, and justice. The PDP have failed Nigerians. APC have failed Nigerians. Political parties have failed Nigerians. Even the Labour Party have failed Nigerians. So we must look at individuals, those people who can deliver. This is not about party. I am not in Labour Party, but I'm working for Peter Obi. Peter Obi will make sure that we sleep with our 2 eyes closed.
You see, if many of you will recall, a couple of weeks back, I told us that Wike has expired. I told us that whether Wike endorses or doesn't endorse, it amounts to nothing. That is when you play God for too long. Wike played God for too long. Turned serious matter into a joking matter. Suddenly, you hear songs like G5, 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 G5. I mean, come on. Serious matter for that matter. But now, where is it? Ortom. All the other people are now endorsing coming up. He's the only one. 1 week to the election. He cannot. 1 week to the election. He can't endorse anyone. Some of you are saying he doesn't have balls. Well, I don't know. I haven't touched it. I didn't measure it. So if he has or not, that's left for him. But the bottom line is there comes a time you stand for something. Do not sit on the fence. For 2023 presidential election, do not sit on the fence. We are not sitting on the fence. Tomorrow, We are calling all Obedience to come out globally. Join us in Abuja, join us in Enugu, join us in Lagos. Globally, 774 local governments across Nigeria, plus those of you in the diaspora. Like I said before, tomorrow as we march, whatever, we are sponsoring this on our own. If you so wish that you give people water, there is no centralization here. We do it our own. We had a press conference today. We're working with a team. If anyone who wants to support through Super Chat tomorrow, whether we get anything or not, at least those that come will get water for them, just make it lively. The way we started these movements will be the way we'll end it, even bigger than anyone can imagine. So, on this note, you can use your super sticker and super chat if you want to buy water, whatever it is, for those that will be marching, especially in the streets of Abuja and other hinterlands and other villages.
Peter Obi and Daddy are the youngest people, so the youth must rise up and support Peter Obi. Obi, 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 Obi,
Ayo, people are now saying it's no longer the G5. It's officially now the G4 governors. Let's see if they still exist. We'll take a tweet. This is from Tosin, who wrote, Samuel Autumn, governor of Benue State, is willing to forego his senatorial ambition. He openly endorsed Peter Obi for president, even when other G5 governors are hiding behind one finger. The first governor to support the presidential ambition of Peter Obi. Amazing. Ayo.
Well, on that one, the Governor Samuel Autumn got a court stay for the PDP and INEC to not disqualify him or expel him from the party or contesting on the party's platform for the. So at least until the final judgment is heard, he's still going to run on the platform of the PDP. Interesting times, as we said here today. Interesting news coming up. This is not new. On the 25th of December, when Mr. Peter Obi went to spend Christmas with the IDP at the IDP campaign in Makurdi in Benue State, Governor Samuel Autumn had said that if he could, he would, go around campaigning for Mr. Peter Obi. Yes. So people had said to make assumptions that, is he, expressing where he's leaning towards? But he didn't come out to say clearly. Yesterday, he came out, to say it without any shadow of doubt that this is whom he's standing by. Then he said something really important about the fact that it's not along party lines. He's still a member of the PDP, but he's looking at the candidates who can take Nigeria out of this insecurity and who's good enough to run. He's young, he's vibrant, he's competent. Hence, he's going to go with Mr. Peter Obi. The interesting thing is that Benue State also has a PDP governorship candidate, as with Labour Party. Is it going to end just at the presidential candidate?
It appears so.
Yes,
and that's what they've been saying.
And then, is Mr. Peter Obi going to is he going to return the favor by supporting perhaps his own the candidate that he's backing? Because there have been conversations around that in the past as to what then happens. I remember when.
Anyway, bottom line here is people, they have decided, and he has made it public. Now, as a call for action for tomorrow, please, we once more call upon you to join us tomorrow, wherever you are. Please, 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 join the march tomorrow. On that note, I say everyone, good night and listen to this.
Dr. Justin Kingland. We are in the final push, and this is a clearing call to all of you out there to come out in mass on the 18th of February for a global march. We have reason for this global march. We are the people who started the 1 million march, and we want to end it with a global march, 100 million march, every other march. We are all marching on the 18th. We are marching to take back our country and our future. It is now or never. It is now or never. A new Nigeria is possible with His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, and Dr. Dati Baba Ahmed.
Sunana Jamila Mamman Umar. Kuma ni babban masoyiya ce kuma babban mai goyon bayan ɗan takarar shugaban ƙasa na Labour Party wato Peter Obi da mataimakinsa Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed. Ina kira ga dukkan 'yan Najeriya da cewa mu fito da kwanmu da kwarkwatanmu ranar Asabar 18 ga watan biyu na shekara 2023. A wannan rana za a yi babban taro na mamaki na wanda zai ƙara nuna cewa ba mu gaji ba yadda muka faro da ƙarfinmu haka kuma za mu ƙara kamfen ɗin nan da ƙarfinmu. Cewa suka yi ba mu da mutane, ƙarya suke yi, muna da mutane, ku ne mutanenmu don haka ina roƙon ku fidda mu kunya yadda kuka saba don Allah ku fito ku zo mu nuna musu cewa mu muke da ƙasarmu kuma mu za mu zaɓi waɗanda za su shugabance mu ba za a ɗora mana mutane ba. Babu gudu babu ja da baya. Najeriya ta mu ce ku zaɓi Labour Party, ku zaɓi Peter Obi da Datti Baba Ahmed a matsayin shugaban ƙasa da mataimakinsa. Mu huta lafiya.
And we're saying anywhere you are, step out on the 18th, rev your local government, rev your state, rev the FCT, rev every part of the world where you have a Nigerian, because it's daybreak, countrymen, it's game over as a final push. On the 25th of February 2023, we're going to be voting in our president, Peter Gregory, Vice President Baba Ahmed Dati. And you know what is interesting? Nigerians have risen to take their destiny in their hands. Victor said that nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. So let's take back our country, people. It's February 18th, Saturday morning. Step out, rev this nation for good.
Exactly 6 months ago, our nation witnessed a complete shift in its political tectonic plate. And today, just a week plus to the 2023 general election, we're calling on all obedience across polling units, ward level, states to come out en masse on Saturday, the 18th of February, 2023, to energize the rendezvous of the mega million marches across everywhere in this country. This is a call to action. This is a call to the new Nigeria that we are about to witness.
Hello, dear obedience, dear good citizens of Nigeria. We are having, I'm sure you all know by now, that we are going to speak loudly on the 18th of February, which is just like 2 days away. Gosh, I'm excited. I can't wait for this day. It is a day where we're going to show the world that the journey we started May 25th, 2022 is finally coming to reality. And on February 18th, 10 a.m., my people, most especially Abuja people where I'm at, please let's gather at the Unity Fountain. Let's show the world that we have the numbers, that we're going to give PO nothing less than 30 to 35 million votes. Yes, we can. Trust me, 36 states and Abuja inclusive, we can get those numbers. It's time we take our destiny into our hands. As Mr. Peter Obi has always said, a new Nigeria is possible. And the day to birth that new Nigeria is just around the corner. February 18th, I urge us all, come out. It's a Saturday, it's a weekend. Take your time, enjoy your Fridays, then come out on Saturday. Speak loudly from Abia to Zamfara State. We're going to take over. We're going to shut down Nigeria. We're going to show them that we have the capacity. We're going to show them that we have what it takes. We're going to show them that we mean business. We're going to show them that we are stakeholders in this Nigeria. We're going to show them that Nigeria belongs to us all. And we're going to speak loudly. And that's that we desire. We're going to birth it on February 25th with our Peter's Voters Card. But don't forget, 18th February is the date. Come out, let's rock. Love you all.
My name is Mazes, okay? The 18th of February, we are calling on you to come out for the mother of all rallies. We title this rally Now or Never. On the 18th, everyone who has started this movement called the Obedient Movement is being called out to come and end it the way we've started it. Join us on the 18th of February 23, that's a Saturday, from New York, from London, from Istanbul, Abuja, Enugu, anywhere. we are going to be shutting down everywhere to show our solidarity to Mr. Peter Obi and Dr. Dati Baba Ahmed towards the new Nigeria that we all believe that is possible.
Dear Obedience worldwide, on the 18th of this month, that is this Saturday, make sure you are out there. All the local governments in Nigeria and globally, we are going to be marching.
Our great Nigeria is possible. Our great Nigeria is very possible. And useful. Obedient and useful. Our great Nigeria is possible. Our great Nigeria is very possible. For better infrastructure, for better life, yeah, my people. For better roads, yeah, for better hospitals and health, yeah. For lights today, for everything to work for us, for Nigeria. Yeah. No more hunger. Obi for better Nigeria. Obedient and useful. Obi, Obi, I'll be obedient and useful. Obi, oh yeah, Obi, get Hausa man, Yoruba man, Igbo man, Middle Belt, Niger Delta. Let us come together for better Nigeria. For better life, for better health, for better road. From consumption to production. Obi Adema, Obi Adema, Obi Adema, Obi Akachamba, Obi for Nigeria, Obi go to good, Obi follow Obi, Daga 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 daga, Obi Obi. Obi Adema. Okay now. Ewo, I beg you. Ewo. Oyibo lọ́tọ̀ bẹ̀lẹ̀ wálé. Bẹ̀lẹ̀ wá lọ́tọ̀ ìrọ̀nsí lọ́tọ̀ kò wá nílé lọ́tọ̀ Mọ̀rítàlá lọ́tọ̀ Ọbásanjọ́ lọ́tọ̀ Ṣàgárí lọ́tọ̀ Buhari lọ́tọ̀ Babangida lọ́tọ̀ Ṣọ̀nẹ́kan lọ́tọ̀ Abacha lọ́tọ̀ Abdulsalam lọ́tọ̀ Ọbásanjọ́ lọ́tọ̀ Yar'Adua àdúrà lọ́tọ̀ òjò.